on the prosecution's request for the multiple lawyer examination of a single witness, the court denied the prosecution's request and reaffirmed the strict one counsel, one witness rule under the Senate impeachment rules. However, the court partially granted the request by allowing a maximum of 2 lawyers to examine a witness only in highly exceptional circumstances to prevent redundant questioning, explicitly specifying that this exception applies equally to both the prosecution and the defense. As to the BIR box, the court denied the prosecution's request to open and mark the contents of the sealed BIR box of tax documents transmitted by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Applying the Supreme Court ruling in Land Bank versus Pagayatan, the court stated that it cannot take legal custody of items not officially deposited through proper judicial processes. The court ordered the immediate return of the box to the BIR by tomorrow morning. However, this does not preclude the prosecution or any party, for that matter, to ask the court for the issuance of any subpoena duces tecum, for which the BIR shall also be bound to comply. As to the issuance of subpoenas, the prosecution secured approvals for several compulsory processes subject to specific boundaries set by the court to satisfy the legal test of definiteness and relevancy. As to the NBI subpoena, the court granted the issuance of subpoena ad testificandum compelling 2 active National Bureau of Investigation agents to testify tomorrow and on Wednesday. As to the AMLC and bank records, the court was already ready to issue the subpoena, but the panel of prosecutors amended their request, so the issuance of the subpoena was deferred. Upon agreement of the parties, the court ordered that all requests for subpoena be given the other party so they can file their comment or opposition, to which oral arguments will be scheduled in the future. For the pretrial order and evidentiary objections, addressing the respondents' comments on the pretrial order, the court finalized the order and granted the prosecution's proposed sequence of evidence presentation, which is Article 4, Article 4, Article 1, Article 3, and Article 2. The presiding officer clarified that the pretrial order simplification of ultimate issues does not preclude the defense from discussing its affirmative defenses or raising evidentiary objections during the trial proper when the relevant questions become ripe for resolution. The trial was adjourned and will resume tomorrow at July 7, 2026 at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Any questions?
Is there any protocol for the senator judges to enter the courtroom in a sequence, or anytime na pwede silang pumasok ay pwede silang pumasok kahit hindi sabay-sabay, hindi magkakasunod?
Yes, the only requirement po para sa mga senator judges is kapag po magro-roll call so that they can note their attendance na nandun po sila for the existence of the quorum. Other than that po, they can enter and exit the plenary just like in any plenary session.
Sir, anong move na po yung gagawin ng impeachment court doon sa suggestion ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano na i-consider yung pakikipag-communicate sa DOI?
Actually, that will have to be taken up according to the presiding officer during the plenary session, and I think yun yung mga pag-uusapan ng ating mga senador in either executive session or a caucus, so they will know how to deal with the matter na ni-raise ni Senator Cayetano.
Mga kailangan pa mo ba yung motion?
Hindi na po. Kailangan lang po nilang pag-usapan, will they send a letter to the Sandigan Bayan o meron po bang resolution ang Senate regarding that? So yun yung hindi pa klaro kung ano yung course of action na pwedeng gawin para makipag-usap formally sa Sandigan Bayan.
Pero sir, kailangan plenary session? Kailangan mag-resume muna or hindi na?
Alin po?
Yung kailangan mag-resume po muna yung
Yung po yung hindi pa sigurado kasi syempre, lagi nyo pong iisipin, ang bawat akto po ng branches of government ay magiging opisyal lamang kapag ito po ay during the official sessions. So kung ang Kongreso po during plenary session, if they are acting as a legislative body at kapag korte naman po during the session ng impeachment court. So yun po yung mga pag-uusapan nila how they can navigate the matter regarding dun sa bring up ni Senator Cayetano.
For clarification, when you say plenary session as legislative or
As legislative. Kaya hindi kanina nag-rule yung presiding officer kasi it is a matter outside of the purview of the impeachment court.
Clarification, will it be accurate to say na hindi ma-actionan yung motion ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano hanggat hindi nag-resume ang session ng Congress?
Hanggat hindi pa po yan sigurado kung ano yung action. Kasi yun nga po, as I know, meron pong moves po na may liham na pinapakalat po para po magsulat yung ating mga senador doon sa Sandigang Bayan. However, some senators feel na hindi po dapat ganon yung proseso na gawin na ordinary liham. So that's why they have to settle it amongst themselves kasi we cannot presume or assume kung ano po yung gusto nila. As siguro majority po kung ano yung gusto ng majority, kung pipirma sila doon o hindi o ihintayin na plenary session, sila po muna ang magbabanggaan ng opinion tungkol dyan. So ngayon po, hindi tayo makapagbigay ng opinion kung ano yung dapat o hindi dapat kasi either way, pwede nilang gawin.
Attorney, ano po ang paliwanag bakit dalawa sa podium, sina Senate President Escudero at Senate President Gatchalian and Senator Escudero?
Because when it comes to the impeachment trial po, they are equals. May division lamang po ng labor. So, kaya po, we do not want to degrade the office of the Senate President para bumaba po doon sa katulad ng sa upuan ng mga senator judges. So, kaya po, minarapat na parang kapareho lang rin po nung nangyari nung impeachment ni President Estrada na nakaupo po yung presiding officer which is the Chief Justice at katabi niya po yung Senate President at nandun po dahil po co-equal po sila on that matter.
So kung impeachment trial, magkalapit po silang dalawa.
Tama po.
And then, Attorney, dun lang po para lang po kasi may paliwanag, kanina gusto ho ng prosecution na i-array ng Vice President and then in-post, diba?
Mhm.
Defense, and then the Senate President, the presiding officer made a ruling na hindi kinakailangan, pwede lang pong pa-expound,
Mhm.
ang ruling ng presiding officer na unnecessary to
Apo. Marami pong basehan po yan. No? Unang-una yung mga previous impeachments po, hindi na po binasa yung articles of impeachment. Kahit yung naalala nyo rin po yung last year, hindi rin po. Dahil kinokonsidera na po ng trial court ang pagpa-file ng answer bilang voluntary appearance doon sa respondent. So kaya po, immaterial na po yung physical o yung actual na pagpunta po ng Vice Presidente dahil nag-file na po sila ng answer. At nandun din po yung mga abogado ng respondent para rin po mag-enter ng appearance in her behalf, katulad po ng sinabi ni Attorney Season kanina. So, in ordinary trial courts po, ginagawa rin po yung wini-waive po yung pagbabasa ng sakdal o yung kaso at pwede pong mag-enter na lang po ng plea. However, dito po kasi hindi po criminal case to, so sui generis to, alam niyo naman. So hindi na po kailangan mag-enter ng plea ng ganong kapormal na katulad nire-request po ng prosecution. Kaya po kinonsidera na ng korte na sufficient na po ang pag-attend at saka po pagpa-file ng answer bilang voluntary appearance ng respondent.
the Vice President cannot be compelled.
Tama po. Cannot be compelled to attend. One, because meron po siyang right against self-incrimination under the Constitution. Hindi rin po siya kinakailangang pumunta naman kasi wala namang pangangailangan sa pagpunta niya dahil nare-representa na po siya ng kanyang mga abogado. At yung depensa niya ay nare-representa na rin nung answer niya po na final.
Unless voluntarily she will come.
Yeah, it's up to her po. Wala pong magagawa ang sino man para pilitin siyang pumunta.
Sir, Attorney, pa-clarify lang sir, sabi niyo po when it comes to impeachment trials, equals yung presiding officer and Senate President. Ano po yung functions nila?
Actually po, yung Senate President bilang legislative head po ng Senado at yung presiding officer po na elected bilang head po naman ng impeachment trial. Alam niyo naman po, impeachment court rather, alam niyo naman po na ang kapag sa gantong mga proseso o na nangyayari o proceedings, dual hats po ang ginagawa ng ating Senado bilang legislatibo at saka bilang trial court po. So, yun po yung simbolismo ng pag-upo ng dalawang tao po doon sa taas po.
Any comment nyo na lang na according to Senator Judge Alan Cayetano, maaaring null and void yung whole proceedings just because of this issue of presiding officer, citing the intent of the constitutional framers that it should be the Senate President, not an elected president.
Actually po, napag-usapan na rin po kanina at medyo mahaba-haba ang debate dyan. Meron naman pong basihan yung chair, yung presiding officer, pati po yung mga majority of the senators. Nabanggit na rin po ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan yan na ipinasok na rin sa records po ng impeachment court yung mga kaso ng Umali versus JBC at Chavez versus JBC na nagsasaad na kapag malinaw po ang konstitusyon at malinaw po yung konstitusyon na hindi pinagbabawal po ang pag-elect ng presiding officer in impeachment trial sa Article 11 Section 8 po, Section 3 number 8 at dahil nagpasa rin po ang Senado ng kanilang rules sa pag-amenda ng Resolution 39, yun po ang naging legal na basehan para balido po ang pag-elect at pag-upo ni Presiding Officer Chis Escudero bilang head po ng impeachment court.
So, Attorney, since last year kayo din pa impeachment spokesperson, how would you describe so far the corrections that have been done in last year's impeachment and now that it's actually started, parang na-correct na po ba yung mga kamali natin and how do you find satisfactory?
I think yung sa correction, ibig sabihin, kailangan kong umamin na pa yung pagkakamali sa last year. Wala pong pagkakamali sa last year. When you're talking about the issues regarding sa pag-file po ng articles of impeachment, I think the respondent Vice President also filed her affirmative defenses, yung violation din po ng 1-year bar rule, inilagay nga po sa answer niya. So I think pareho rin po yun sa last year na sagot niya doon sa articles of impeachment. So on that matter po, yung sa affirmative defenses, the presiding officer and the court itself will have to deal with the matter kapag ni-raise na po ng depensa yung mga affirmative defenses na yon during the course of the trial.
Sorry, I meant last year kasi hindi naman po forthwith yung nag-proceed. Pero this year, forthwith na po.
Actually, last year, forthwith pa rin nag-proceed because ang definition ng forthwith ayon sa bagong kaso ng Generillo na pinasa ng Supreme Court ay ibig sabihin na within reasonable time. And last year, nagkaroon po ng mga iba-ibang mga issues. Kaya the presiding officer at that time deemed it prudent na wag madaliin yung proseso in a way na hindi namang unreasonable. Reasonable yung pagkakadelay because of the elections, because of the adjournment, and because of the transition of the 19th Congress to the 20th Congress that raises the question as to the authority of the House of Prosecutors at that time and the House of Representatives in filing the articles of impeachment. So para hindi na po magkaroon ng any cases dati, ay hindi na po muna pinilit na within 1 month, matuloy po yun because of those certain legal issues. So based on the Generillo case, sinabi po ng Korte Suprema na yung pong pagka-delay na yon ay reasonable at walang violation ng forthwith.
Doon sa presiding officer na pinagtalunan na po yung election, pwede lang po pa-explain ano bang significance ng presiding officer na ba na pag nag-rule siya, that stands unless
Tama po.
by the
Tama po. Yes po. According po sa Senate impeachment rules, ang presiding officer po ang namamahala. One, court management. Time management, pangalawa po. Next po ay magro-rule po sa mga motion, either evidentiary motion or interlocutory motion. Ang evidentiary motion, kunwari, relevant ba yan, admissible ba yan o hindi. Interlocutory motions, katulad po kanina, kung mag-a-arraign ba o hindi mag-a-arraign, mag-o-object ba o hindi mag-o-object, magfa-file ba ng comment o hindi magfa-file. So, yun po yung pinaka-basic duties ng presiding officer at siya po rin yung unang magdedesisyon doon sa mga motion na yon at objections na yon, at only upon the appeal or questioning of any senator judge made the question or the decision or resolution of the presiding officer na pwedeng iput po into a vote. If the vote fails, then the decision or resolution of the presiding officer stands, and if the vote wins, then ma-overturn po yung presiding officer.
Attorney, hindi niyo na po nakikita na abot yung usapin po dun sa pagkaka-elect kay Senator Cheese sa Supreme Court. Pwede bang questionin mo po?
Again, it's up to the parties po kung sino yung mga gustong mag-file ng ganun po, no? Hindi ko po, we cannot hazard a guess as to the intention or ano yung gustong patunguhan po ng mga nag-raise ng objections na yon. As you can see po, medyo natagalan po yun ng konti, no? Pero bilang demokratikong bayan po ang Pilipinas, yun po talaga ang proseso. So merong mag-a-against, meron ding pong magka-counter dun sa nag-a-against, at yan po talaga yung pagtutunggalian ng utak at isip. At napakaganda po because it only shows na umaandar po yung demokrasya natin. At parte po ng ng demokrasya natin yung pagpa-file ng kaso at para po ma-decide ng Supreme Court.
Pero sir, attorney, totoo po na pwedeng in the end maging null and void yung dahil lang sa issue nung election.
Meron po akong personal na view dyan, pero I will just keep it to myself because as a lawyer, alam naman po natin na political question yon. So, yeah. So doon na lang po. Pero I cannot hazard a guess kung mananal and void siya. Pero ang stand po ng impeachment court ay balido po. Ang stand po ng Senado, balido po yung pag-amyenda ng Resolution 39, katulad ng narinig ninyo kanina. And majority has voted already. So the vote of the majority earlier by 12-8 already ratifies the amendment to the Resolution 39 or any question as to that amendment po. So na-ratify na po nung Senado as a plenary.
Just to follow up on that, bali you're saying constitutional.
Opo. The majority vote stands. And is valid until the Supreme Court says it is not valid.
Sir, may we just know the feelings of our senator judges dun sa pagkaka-arrest ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta? How does it feel about it?
Medyo outside of my payroll po yan. Outside of my pay grade. I am just here po to talk about the proceedings sa impeachment court. I think ibang spokesperson yung kailangan yung tanongin dyan, yung spokesperson ng Senado po. Meron pa po?
Regarding these proceedings, how will it affect the other specific economic push by Senator Gatchalian? He mentioned earlier that he will still have to focus on economic growth and
Yes.
federal budget. So what are the effects
Yeah.
of these proceedings?
Actually, yun po yung maganda sa nangyari, no? Dahil po dalawa silang nakaupo dito, Senator Gatchalian can now exert all his efforts doon sa legislative duties naman po ng Senado. Hindi niya po kinakailangan sobrang mag-aral ng metikuloso tungkol sa mga rules of evidence, etc. Of course, kailangan niya pa rin, pero dahil hindi na po siya yung presiding officer, pwede niya pong i-relegate yon sa presiding officer at makakapagtutok na po siya doon sa mga importanteng legislative matters. So, nagkasundo po sila at yung mayorya na mas maganda po yung ganon para po sa ikabibilis ng proseso at saka po sa hindi pag-antala ng legislative mga agenda naman ng Senado.
So you confirm po that that was kind of intentional or by design to address both the economic needs?
Yes po. At saka para mapabilis yung proseso dahil po ma-technical po, katulad na nakita nyo kanina, ma-technical po ang proceedings ng any korte. So para matulungan po ang isa't isa, nag-division of labor po sila. So it was a very amicable and very friendly agreement sa kanila po at saka sa mayorya.